Okay, Stuart, I know you're loving this tournament. I know you're loving working for talkSPORT during it. And you were doing just that. And off the back of England against the Czech Republic, you were speaking to talkSPORT's very high-profile signing for the Euros, José Mourinho. Now, Mourinho, amongst other things, got onto set-piece play and was a bit critical of how poor England's set-piece play had been as far as he was concerned. It was a fairly innocuous comment involving England's set pieces. Have a listen to this, Stuart.
The only negative thing that I would say is that once more, very, very poor on attacking corners. The service is dramatic bad. England has so much power in terms of good guys in the air. The Stones, Mings, Maguire, Harry, so many good players to attack the ball in the box. But the crosses are not passing the first man. Luke Shaw, which in my opinion he played a very good game, poor on the corner. Calvin Phillips the same, the ball doesn't go over the first man, and England is very power at this level and going to knockouts. Probably a corner can decide a game.
Yeah. Do you know what, Stuart? I listened to that and now I've listened to it again. He's only saying, Jose, what he saw in the night. Luke Shaw, in my opinion, very good tonight, but very poor on the corner. Phillips the same. Now, of course, we know it goes back a bit. There's a bit of bad blood between these two in their time at Manchester United. Over the weekend, in an interview with the Times' Henry Winter, Luke Shaw has come bouncing back and he says, "There is no hiding that we didn't get on. I'm trying to move on, but obviously he can't." And he says he continuously talks about me, which I find quite strange. Even some of the lads here with England are saying, what's his problem? And why does he keep talking? What is this? Is this deeper than a lot of words between these two?
I tell you what, sometimes with players, and you know, I've seen it from both sides as a player and as a coach and a manager now. Sometimes when the manager stops talking to you, they've almost, that is the worst scenario to be. Whilst as a player you might think that's all right, but why managers are talking to you, I think reading between the lines here, Jose thinks that Luke is a very, very good player and he can get more and more out of him, or could have got more and more out of him as a player.
Right.
In the statement that he made, it's something that we picked up on in commentary as well on the night. You know, the set plays weren't particularly great, whether it was Luke taking them or whether it be Phillips taking them.
So he's got a point.
Oh, it's absolutely spot on. We're really, really disappointed in the delivery. I thought there was compliments in there. It just depends what you're looking for within a statement. If you've got a set mindset that this fella doesn't like me, you'll only ever pick out the one thing. My corners weren't very good, so it's derogatory.
I think you've just nailed it. I think that's exactly what's in Luke Shaw's mind, because he goes on, hopefully he, Mourinho, can find his peace with that and stop worrying about me. Clearly, I'm in his head a lot and he thinks about me a lot.
And over time, there's a lot of players that have been and come and gone, and they look back on their time they spent with a certain manager and they'll say, this fella never liked me. I don't know why, but he never liked me. But I tell you what, the mark is, do they keep picking you? And whenever Luke Shaw was fit, I'm sure he played at Manchester United and he was picked by Jose. I mean, listened to Jose's comments. I thought they were fair comments, judged on the fact of in 2018 our corner taking was fantastic and we were a major threat at every corner. And I've not seen that as much in this tournament.
So at the time, and even still now, Mourinho's comments didn't jar with you, don't jar with you, but clearly Shaw's got a problem with them. I mean, you would say it's constructive criticism.
I think, well, without a doubt, but I don't know what's gone on between them when they were working together at Old Trafford, obviously. But sometimes all I would say is if you've got no dialogue with your manager at any given club, chances are he's given up on you. It's the ones that keep niggling away at you, you think that don't like you, are the ones that see something in you and are trying to get the best out of you.
He's definitely got him in the back of his mind, though, Luke Shaw. I mean, when you look further into the quotes that he's given to Henry Winter, he likes some, he doesn't like others. I fell into the category where he didn't like me. I mean, Luke's got to get out of this mindset, hasn't he? Mourinho was only commenting the other night what he saw. He says, I think it kind of had an effect on him, but the way he was with me, that was him, and he had his personal agenda.
Yeah.
Luke's got to give this up, hasn't he?
I think sometimes as a player, you can use it in two ways. You've got to use it to stimulate you. If that's your mindset, use it as a powerful tool to prove somebody wrong. I would personally turn around and say I think that José, and certainly listen to his words over there, I didn't read anything into that. He also said about Luke having a good game, so he's not looking at Luke and thinking no matter what you do on a football pitch, I don't fancy you as a player.
Yeah.
He thought he had a good game, and so did I on the evening.
You dealt with Luke Shaw, didn't you? Under 21's
yeah,
level.
I had Luke at the under 21 level. I've got to say, he didn't play in many games for me. You know, was hoping to take him to a tournament, and I think he had an ankle problem at the time and didn't make it. He's not played as many games for England over time as we would have liked him to play. It's fair to say,
because I mean, funnily enough, Stuart, towards the tail end of the season there, Leeds United against Man United, I went up. I broke out of London. Been in London for months. Broke out of here, went up to Elland Road. And I was sitting, and of course, a very few of us in the media there, but sitting to the left-hand side of Elland Road, down the front, and I was watching Luke Shaw right in front of me go up and down that left flank all first half, non-stop. He was a standout, absolute standout.
Well, listen, he's the left back that's moved many years ago for £25 million. You know, he's a very, very good player. Injury, and he's had one or two nasty injuries have put pay to the amount of games and the amount of international games that he's played. But the bottom line is, he's in the England squad now. He's got every chance of playing tomorrow night against Germany. And if he does, he'll have the full support of all of us. And we hope he has a brilliant game.
Again, Stuart, it begs the question, the player today compared to when you played, has it changed significantly enough that these days they find it hard to take criticism? I mean, no doubt you would get a tongue like Clough.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I went years playing for... I mean, I worked for Brian for 8 years, and I was his captain for 7 of those, and I was convinced for the majority of the time that he never really liked me and never fancied me as a player. So... And if you said the same to Martin O'Neill, he would say the same about him as well, and various other players. You know, I wasn't easy on the eye. I wasn't a Peter Davenport or a Nigel Clough that could receive the ball and was an intelligent footballer. It was all bludgeon your way through the game type scenario. But the bottom line is you have to use that and turn it on its head. And if you've got someone to prove wrong, it's a powerful tool, you know, in life. To prove someone wrong. And you know, I don't think probably José dislikes him as much as he thinks that he does. I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong. I don't know the individual interaction between the two.
For sure. I mean, at West Ham, do you tread warily?
It depends. You've got to be a very naive coach or a very naive manager to almost treat everybody the same. I've got to know individuals. So I'm working with maybe 25, 30 individuals. I'll speak with all of them in a slightly different manner. Slightly different. You know, the certain fundamentals have got to be there, and the discipline's got to be there. All of those type of things for any manager have got to be the same. But you still talk to certain individuals slightly different. I can maybe talk to Mark Noble at club level, Mark Noble slightly differently and slightly more aggressively than I can maybe another squad player or another player that may be not from these shores. So you've got to get cute with players, and the only thing that matters is getting the best out of them.
Yeah, I think I've told you before, I interviewed Clough near the end, unfortunately, but he was talking about Martin O'Neill getting Celtic to their first cup final, and what Martin meant to him. And it's exactly as you've described. Martin must have thought for many years at Forest, does this guy like me? Because he said to us, I'll speak about Martin of that, there's no problem. He says, mind you, I did some terrible things to him.
But listen, if he got the best out of Martin, that's how he done it.
Yes, exactly.
But you couldn't do the same to the next person because he might not have the moral strength to deal with that. So it's just knowing your players.
I love it.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.